I have a question for you. Balatro is on Game Pass. So that means it's free for everybody on either the hardware or the on PC if you have Game Pass. So now this is a real question that developers have to struggle with, and so now you can have the fun as an armchair developer. Can you answer this question? What dollar amount would you take to put your game on Game Pass instead of selling it? Now, I'll be clear. I asked this question on Blue Sky. A bunch of people explained Game Pass to me. Yeah, our game was on Game Pass. I kind of know how this thing works, right? There's two separate deals from Microsoft. Microsoft will give you development money, and I'm going to say would, because they're changing, because they've realized some problems. But we'll ignore that for a minute. And that's a separate deal. I'm saying you've got your game done. They want it on Game Pass. They'd be like, hey, you're going to give up sales on Xbox. And remember, it's got to be Xbox PC and the hardware. They're tied together. You're not allowed to do a separate deal just for the Xbox kits. It's got to be for both PC as well. So that means you would lose potential Steam sales. Okay? So you got to give up both of those. And now it's not going to be lifetime. Most of these deals are for a year. So for 1 year, how much would you make Microsoft give you? Because you're saying, hey, I'm going to make more on this deal, taking it directly from Microsoft and remove the risk, than I would selling it on my own. Now, again, Balatro dev, super nice guy. I don't want to put him in a weird spot asking this question. I'm not. And he had to decide this long before. This isn't like you get to decide this last minute because you don't know if you have a hit or not, right? So that clouds the whole thing. But you, for this question, you know you have a hit. You know you've won a bunch of awards. And so what do you think your sales curve looks like? And here's something that's interesting that even devs who have been around for a while but don't know actual sales or haven't been part of games that have sold a bunch. Scale is crazy. Scale is crazy. I still remember when we first started our website, Old Man Murray, the first time 50 people visited it in a day, we sat around and waited for the clicker to go over because we were so excited that 50 people saw our website, right? Eventually, you're looking at like, then it'd be like 600, that's our high school, like kind of numbers. And then it's like 30,000, that's like at a baseball game. And then it's like it just keeps growing, right? And so then when we start selling games, you all of a sudden see millions and millions and millions of people. And you start to understand scale and how much that scale can absorb more sales, right? Because you're always like, there's no way they can sell another copy of Minecraft, and yet Minecraft keeps selling, right? It's this thing called birth. It just keeps making new people. But for this case, it's a little bit more mature game. What would you take? And now there's the whole glib, I'd take $50 because I'm poor. Yeah. But you got a hit game in your pocket here. What would you take? What do you think? Now, Xbox is not a super big platform, but Game Pass means you can play it anywhere. So what would you take? Would you take $1 million? That seems low to me. Would you take $10 million? Is that high? So what is the dollar amount? And I'm kind of curious if you could show your work. How'd you come up with that? Because this is the question, again, developers have to struggle with. And you have to look at the Xbox platform and how many people buy games outside of Game Pass, or is that platform now just Game Pass? But how much does that affect Steam sales? It affected our Steam sales greatly when we did this. Our number one return when our game first came out was didn't know this was on Game Pass. Oof. But we got good money on Game Pass. So that's the question. Let's say you're the owner of Balatro. Microsoft comes to you and says, we want to put it on Game Pass. How much money do you want? What's that in? Leave it in the comments.